Hey guys, welcome back to Crafting Princesses. To jump right into today's tutorial, we are making an Anna dress from Frozen. This is a shorter length version of the dress, but please feel free to do full length if you'd like. In addition, I did want this dress to be more full than my dresses normally are, so I am doing 2 strips of tulle along the bottom row and 1 strip of tulle along the top, which I will show you here. I have my tulle already cut out, and I'm going to be taking 2 strips of my tulle. So I have my 2 strips here, fold that in half, and then I use my fingers to twist the middle so that it is easier to thread through the holes. With this being thicker, given that we're using 2 pieces, I highly recommend to do this little step. And as we normally do, we're going to stick the folded edge through the hole. It will come out the bottom. You will then open the hole so that you can complete the slip knot. So pull your strips of tulle through and tug gently. Do not tug too hard or your crochet will roll. Then, as we do on all of the other dress tutorials that I've shown, we're going to do 1 strip of tulle on the second row. So I'm going to take 1 strip here, and we're going to place this strip above our double strip. For the bodice design, I'm using this emerald green glitter canvas from Hobby Lobby. I have used these on some of my other tutorials as well. These are $1.47 a sheet, and this is next to the felt section at Hobby Lobby. You can also order glitter canvas online if you just do a search for that. For the actual design, I did freehand my own stencil. So on some construction paper, I just looked up an image of the Anna dress design and then came up with something that was easy to cut out and manage for the dress. When I drew it, I just chose the side that I liked best. I folded my construction paper in half and then cut out my pattern so that it was even on both sides, and I did the same with the bottom. If you're not good at freehanding your designs, go ahead, check online for a template or an image of some kind that you can cut out and follow that. With this stencil, I'm going to put it on the back of my glitter canvas so that I can trace on the back. So I'm just going to take a thin Sharpie here, and I'm going to trace around my stencil to cut out. To make use of my glitter canvas sheet, I just traced the 2 images next to one another since I'll just be cutting them out. That way I can save the bottom portion for another project. So using some sharp fabric scissors. Since this is glitter canvas, I'm going to be using fabric scissors for this. Do not use your fabric scissors for paper or anything other than fabric. It will dull the scissors and it will make your cuts very choppy. Go ahead and cut out your designs, both of them. I like to cut just inside the Sharpie line so that none of that green Sharpie mark will show. It won't show anyway because it's going to be glued onto the dress, but I'm sorry, I just super picky about stuff like that. So I'm just cutting on the inside of my Sharpie line. Both of my images have been cut out. I just love how pretty this glitter canvas is, and no, this glitter does not get everywhere, which is a huge positive for the glitter world. In addition to those 2 pieces, I did cut out some felt pieces for the flowers that will go on the bottom of the dress. I took some fuchsia colored felt and cut out these petals. So they are skinnier at the bottom and round and bulby. That's not even a word, but it's more of a bulb shape at the top, and you will need 4 petals for each flower, and we're doing 3 flowers total, so you will need 12 petals. In addition to the petals, I did cut out the stems as well out of some green felt. I just cut a longer rounded stem for the middle, and then 2 leaves that kind of point outwards in opposite directions of the middle stem. To make our flowers, I'm just taking one of the petals and getting my hot glue gun. I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue at the bottom, take a second petal and slightly overlap. Then I'll put a little more hot glue on top of that second petal and slightly overlap a third petal. And then put some glue on top of that third and that first petal and attach the last. So now you have your flower shape. And as you can see in the middle, it's not that pretty. So I am going to be covering that with a clear rhinestone. I got this huge pack. I think it probably had like 1,000 rhinestones in it from Hobby Lobby in the craft section. It's all different sizes of pretty rhinestones, and I just put it in a nicer jar for storage. So I'm going to take a medium-sized rhinestone, not a little tiny one, but a little bigger than that. Put a little bit of hot glue in the middle and cover that center section with your rhinestone. Back to our dress, I have completed adding all of my tulle as well as a halter strap to the top. So, but you can do any kind of strap design that you'd like if you just want shoulders or adjustable. I did a halter for today. To start with our design, I'm taking some of this thicker thread and I'm going to cut off a piece. What I'm going to do is create a heart neckline shape for the center of the dress. So I'm just going to cut off a piece here. Find the center of my bodice. And then take that piece of string or thread, you can also use yarn, whatever is easiest. Go down a few row of holes and we're going to tie this down to secure it. So you can see here that tying that down does give us that heart neckline that we want. And I'm now going to cover this with gold 7/8 inch satin ribbon. Excuse me, I purchased this roll of ribbon from giftsinternational.com. But you can also find this, if you're just doing one dress, you can just go to your local craft store and buy it by the yard. So you're not purchasing an entire 100-yard spool of ribbon, but I make a lot of dresses, so I buy in bulk. Take one end of a strip of gold ribbon, and I'm just cutting off a huge piece because I'm going to do gold at the top and at the bottom. On one side of your ribbon, make sure you heat seal that. And then we're going to start at the side of the dress. So right under where the armpit would be, we're going to put some hot glue on the edge there to secure down our strip of ribbon. Now, Reese DIY, she is another channel on YouTube. She also shows tutu dress tutorials. If you need another channel to follow hers. She recommends to cover your mannequin with plastic bags or like a trash bag to protect it from glue. I did not do that before I started using this mannequin for all of my dressmaking and tutorials, so my mannequin is already messed up. It has glue all over it and like felt and little pieces of color, so I don't bother to cover mine just because this one is already all messed up. But if you want to protect your mannequin, I would follow her advice in covering it before you do any of this. So after you have started to tie down or to glue down your ribbon, I'm now putting some hot glue over my halter strap. So the glue is right on top of the strap. I'm going to follow the top of my bodice and secure to the strap. And then from there, I'm going to put some hot glue along the top, following that heart neckline shape. So just put a strip of hot glue along the top. And then I use my fingers to guide the ribbon to follow that design. So I have trimmed off my ribbon, and I also added some glue underneath the bottom half of the ribbon and pressed down to secure it. Now I'm going to move on to the other side. Heat seal that end of your ribbon And we're going to start at the armpit just like we did on the other side. So I'm going to put some hot glue right on there. Make sure you're getting the glue on the actual solid squares in the crochet and not the empty holes. Now both sides have been attached and glued together, so I trimmed off that last piece of ribbon and glued it down to the other side of my ribbon to meet in the middle. Now we can use that so that we can apply our little decal design here. I want to make sure that the middle, oh, and I did add something. So if you look here, I added 2 little pieces of that glitter canvas to create 2 stems because I'm going to put a flower right in between there. So now I want to line up the middle of my decal with the middle of my dress. I'm going to actually start with that centerpiece, put some hot glue there so that I can just get it down, and then I will glue down the remaining portions of the decal. Okay, so I've glued down the entire top piece of my design. Now I'm just going to glue down the bottom piece. Just going to line that up in the center, put some hot glue on the back, and attach. Out of the same fuchsia felt, I made 2 little tulip style flowers so that we will put right in the middle of those 2 sections that I had shown you earlier. Just put a little bit of hot glue on the back of your tulip and place right over the little green stems that I added there. I added both of my flowers. Now I'm just going to embellish the rest of my design with some pink rhinestones. So I'm going to put 2 on either side of this oval shape over here. Now I'm going to be using my hot glue gun to do this, but if you're not comfortable getting your fingers that close to your glue gun, then I would highly recommend using some fabric glue or like a rhinestone glue. It takes longer to dry, but if you don't want to risk burning your fingers, then you can do it that way. And I'm just going to put 2 on this side, 2 on the left side, and then I'm going to also add 2 rhinestones to the top part of the design as well as above the very, very bottom leaves of the second portion of my design. All of the rhinestones have been added, so now it's time to add the bottom layer of our gold satin ribbon. Going to be doing it the same exact way that we did for the top. So I am going to start along the side, same row that I did the top portion. So I'm just going to follow that straight down, add some glue, and then glue along the front, curving it down into a point at the bottom. So I'm just, now if you pay attention right there, I did not glue the actual side of the dress. I just used the glue gun to follow it straight down so that I would glue it in the same spot that I did on top. So don't glue the side of your dress. Press down to secure and then just glue along the front, curving it downward to a tip. So I've glued along the edge and I have trimmed my ribbon down as far as I would like it to extend in the front. Now this very last piece, I did heat seal the end of my ribbon as well. So the very last piece, I'm going to take my hot glue gun and put it on the back of the ribbon. And I'm going to glue it down directly onto the tulle so that it can extend further out. I want my point to come down and not go across the waistline. So I'm just going to put some hot glue on the back of that ribbon and secure it down on top of the tulle. I did the same exact thing to the opposite side, trimmed my ribbon, and I'm going to show you how I attach the one side to the other. I heat sealed my ribbon. Going to put some hot glue on the back and then make sure that when I attach it, I line it up with the ribbon that's already on. So I'll show you here, just put some hot glue on the back and then attach it down, making it even with the right ribbon and gluing right on top of your tulle. On to our last and final step. I have already glued down my stems, and for that I glued it in the center and I put it directly onto the tulle. I didn't put an extra piece of felt behind it because it is very lightweight, but for the flower, because it does have a rhinestone on it, I am going to secure a piece of royal blue felt to the back. So I'm taking this square piece of felt and I'm going to put it underneath the strip of tulle that I'm working with. And then you'll take your hot glue gun and glue right over the tulle on top of where that felt square piece is, and a little bit on top of the stem so that we can attach our flower. And here we have the final look. I absolutely love it. I did add the 2 additional flowers and their stems to the dress. I'm completely obsessed with how this came out. So I hope you all try to make it. Send me some pictures. I would love to see how you all do. Make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions. Now to get down to business. Halloween is just around the corner and I want to try to push out as much content as possible so that you guys have enough time to pick through my videos and come up with a costume design for yourself. I am going to do an entire series of superheroes or villains, so I want to put out some videos that will show Batman, Robin, Harley Quinn, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, probably some others, but if you would like to get in a request before I start making those videos, please leave a comment below so that I know what you guys are looking for. Also, do not forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you know when those videos are posted. Thank you all so much for your support. I love watching this channel grow and I love helping each and every one of you. I couldn't get this far without you. So don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again for your support and I will catch you all next time.